In a fog-laden village surrounded by dark, twisted woods, there lived a little girl named Lily who cherished a doll named Isabelle. Isabelle was no ordinary doll. Her face was painted with delicate, haunting features. Her lips curled in an unnerving half-smile, and her eyes glinted with an unnatural green shade that seemed to follow you wherever you went. The doll had been in Lily's family for generations, rumored to carry a dark curse. The story began centuries ago with a toy maker who lived on the village's edge, a man once known for his talent but who became obsessed with dark arts. The villagers whispered that he attempted to bind his daughter's spirit into a doll after she tragically died. They saw strange lights from his workshop at night and heard eerie sounds of chanting. One stormy night, the toy maker vanished, leaving his workshop full of dolls. Among them was Isabelle, a doll with uncomfortably lifelike green eyes. When the doll found its way to a family, they soon experienced illness, lost livestock, and worst of all, the disappearance of the child who cherished Isabelle most. And so Isabelle's curse was born, passed from family to family, each unable to escape her. Isabelle had been hidden away in Lily's home, locked in the attic and forgotten over time. But one dreary afternoon, as rain pattered against the windows, Lily stumbled upon Isabelle in the darkened attic, her eyes seemingly aglow in the dim light. Captivated by the doll, Lily brought Isabelle to her room, hiding her away. That very night, Lily heard the faintest whisper by her ear. "Lily." Startled, she sat up, but all was silent, save for the wind tapping against the window. She clutched Isabelle, glancing down at her green, unblinking eyes. Telling herself it was a dream, she closed her eyes and tried to sleep. But each night, the whispers grew louder, and as they did, Lily changed. Her once bright eyes grew dull, her skin took on a lifeless hue, and she spent hours murmuring to Isabelle, sharing secrets in low tones. Her parents noticed, troubled by her sudden quietness and pale complexion, but Lily brushed off their concern. One morning, as her mother Evelyn confided her worries to an elder, Mrs. Morrow, the old woman's face grew pale. "That doll, Isabelle?" she whispered. "It's a cursed thing, that doll. Every child who plays with her, something dark happens." Evelyn tried to laugh it off, but an uneasy feeling took root. That evening, she caught Lily in the darkened hallway, murmuring into Isabelle's ear. When Evelyn called her name, Lily's eyes flashed with a green glint, and her expression was almost unfamiliar. Evelyn tried to remove the doll from the house, but each time she did, accidents followed. One night, her husband Thomas stumbled down the stairs after trying to hide Isabelle. Their loyal dog, who had never been aggressive, began to growl whenever he saw the doll, retreating in terror. Evelyn soon began to see Isabelle even when she knew the doll was hidden away. She'd glance into mirrors only to catch a flash of Isabelle's green eyes staring back. Nightmares plagued her, each one more vivid than the last. She dreamt of a dark forest where a small child, eerily resembling Lily, stood alone, calling for her mother, Isabelle's twisted grin reflected in her eyes. Soon, Evelyn wasn't the only one seeing things. Thomas began hearing a strange song coming from Lily's room, a lullaby they'd never taught her. When he entered, Lily would sit in bed, singing softly. Isabelle nestled in her arms, her green eyes seeming to watch him. Desperate, Evelyn decided to destroy the doll, taking it far from the house to burn it. Yet when they returned, Isabelle was back in Lily's room, perfectly intact, her green eyes gleaming in the moonlight. Lily greeted them with a chilling smile, whispering, "You shouldn't have taken Isabelle away." Days passed, and Lily's transformation worsened. Her skin grew waxy and cold, and her voice sounded hollow. Her eyes, once brown, now glinted with a faint green glow, mirroring Isabelle's unnatural stare. Evelyn found strange symbols scrawled in charcoal across Lily's walls, each one more complex and darker than the last. One night, Evelyn awoke to find Lily standing in the middle of her room, chanting in a strange language Isabelle held tightly in her arms. Shadows gathered around her, creeping closer as Lily's voice became colder and more distant. One night, Thomas awoke to find Lily's bed empty. Frantic, he searched the house and finally found her in the attic, standing before a mirror, Isabelle in her arms, her face twisted in a wide, unnatural grin. As he watched, Lily's reflection in the mirror changed. Her eyes flashed green and her skin looked porcelain, almost doll-like. "Thank you for my new body," she whispered, her voice a chilling echo of Isabelle's. The next morning, Lily was gone. All that remained was Isabelle, sitting on the bed, holding a note in Lily's handwriting. "Thank you for my new body." The parents searched, but Lily had vanished without a trace. The family, haunted by sorrow and dread, moved away from the village. Years later, in a distant town, a little girl named Sophie found Isabelle on her doorstep, her green eyes sparkling in the sun. Sophie's parents thought nothing of it, unaware of Isabelle's past. But soon, they began hearing whispers at night, soft laughter, and an eerie, unfamiliar lullaby. And so, the cycle continued, Isabelle's curse lingering, forever waiting for her next friend,